Hey guys, it's me, the Amazing Gamer DJMC here, with Season 4 of Spider-Man the Anime Series. I just finished watching the rest of the episodes later this afternoon, actually. So let's get this out of the way. Episode 1 is basically the aftermath after Peter's last fight with the Green Goblin at the end of Season 3 finale. So he blames himself what happens to Mary Jane, even though it wasn't technically his fault. But, you know, it's Spider-Man. Robbie gets framed to get sent to jail, so it's not only up to Spider-Man, but J. Jonah Jameson to set Robbie free. And of course, this was orchestrated by Kingpin to free his son, but also we see Tombstone in this appearance. And basically, this entire season is labeled as Partners in Danger. Now, basically, the rest of Season 4, you might as well call it the Black Cat Saga, because this is the episode where we get Black Cat to meet her father for the first time, or at least Felicia. This is the official episode where she makes her debut as Black Cat. Let's see. Here we have the return of Kraven the Hunter, who's hunting down his beloved Calypso because he decided to give her the serum drug that turned into Kraven to save her life because she got infected with a plague in Africa. And then turn her into like a feral wild animal. The return of Alistair Smythe, but also with the crime boss known as Silvermane. So they make a return appearance in here. But you see a bit more flirtation between Spider-Man and Black Cat through episodes 3, 4, 5, somewhat of 6 and 7, but of course with Michael Morbius being back in here, Felicia now has her heart set on Morbius. Now she still does care for Spider-Man, but she can't decide to either be with him or Michael. And actually the funny thing, it was at the start of this episode, she was trying to cheer Peter up, because Peter was still going through mixed emotions. Like, he wasn't sure if he wants to bring Black Cat into his world, while after still dealing with the loss of Mary Jane. But we not only get the return of Morbius, but in this one, Vampire Queen, we see the return of Blade, the Vampire Hunter. So basically, Season 4 is bringing back characters that we have seen from Season 2 a little bit. Well, we did see Kraven in Season 1, but he hasn't made an official appearance since Season 2. So Season 4 just basically does that. The Vampire Queen, Blade, returns, but he finds out the Queen of Vampires is his biological mother, so there's some drama here and there. And now Black Cat and Morbius are going with Blade to stop his mother, but he's trying to convince Blade's mother to be maybe human again, if that makes sense. 3 minutes, it's not too bad. Season 4, Episode 8. The Return of the Green Goblin. This is basically the episode where Harry Osborn becomes the Green Goblin, because if you guys remember, Norman fell inside the same portal as Mary Jane, but the crazy thing is, he's able to communicate with Harry. So, show writers of the show at the time, why didn't you try this with Mary Jane, so Peter could try to help her? You motherfuckers. But also in this episode, we see the return of Punisher, who has not made his appearance since Season 2, while dealing with the whole Morbius saga, while Peter also had the mutation disease. And this is Punisher's last appearance in the cartoon, actually, because we don't see him again in Season 5. After returning Mary Jane to her aunt, I think he's starting to change back to the way he was before his family got brutally murdered, if that makes sense. Alright, episode 9. This is basically a Mysterio theme episode, but, Mary Jane, I forgot to mention, Mary Jane returns in this episode, and Green Goblin was amazed how she came back. This is more focused on MJ because, if you guys remember the redheaded actress that Spider-Man did not find or able to save when he first caught Mysterio on that movie set, she is now a cyborg and trying to switch brains with Mary Jane to regain her youth and body, because MJ looks similar to her, which I think is crazy insane. Let's see here. Episode 10. Oh, I forgot to mention one more thing. At the end of this episode, which these two are two-parters, by the way. But anyway, at the end of this episode, Peter decides to reveal his identity because how close he was losing Mary Jane again. He decides, fuck that, I'm doing this. So he explains to MJ how long he's been Spider-Man, what happened with him after she disappeared, and he wants to marry her. They propose in this episode, and she does say yes. And, right. The reason this is called Lizard King, some reason Dr. Karn's Lizard's mutation is getting worse, like, to the point where he went to ESU to use a smaller version of the Neogenic Combinator, like a small laser gun, to keep his mutation at bay. And, apparently, during his earlier attempts to try to regrow his arm, he dropped some of his DNA fluid down the drain, which was a big mistake because normal lizards down the sewer decided to drink it and they mutated into lizard people. But Kurt made a contingency plans if he ever turned to the lizard, but it involved him getting killed. But luckily, his wife Martha asks, or not Martha, Margaret, sorry, asked one of his other students, which is Deborah Whitney. If I'm saying that right, let me know in the comments. Basically, the blonde-haired scientist with the glasses. Anyway, she reverse engineered to only destroy or neutralize the lizard part. So Dr. Karns can still live, but the lizard stays dormant. But we're gonna see the lizard again in season 5, and I will explain why when we get to the final season, which I am at. Season 4, episode 11, the season finale, and the first introduction of... Hang on a sec. The first introduction of Hobie Brown, aka the Prowler. Now, if you guys are familiar with Hobie Brown, like, wait, isn't that Spider-Punk? Yes, in an alternate universe, Hobie Brown becomes a Spider-Person. But originally, in the main Marvel universe, Hobie Brown is the Prowler. Miles' uncle, who goes by the name Prowler, that's the second person who's taking on the mantle of him. So basically, this is the guy that started the Prowler. Here's the weird thing though. This is his only episode abduction. Like, his only appearance in the show is at the season 4 finale. So, this is his first and last appearance. Now, if they decide to show him in the official Marvel comic book series Spider-Man 94, I'm all down for that. Like, I don't mind that. But, yeah. But Peter was a little bit worried because at the end of this episode, or pretty much at the start of it, Peter and MJ have now moved into a small apartment because at this point they are going to be getting married, so they can't really be married people if they're still living with the family member, if you think about it. But if I say I have to rate season 4, I'll give it a 9.5 because it has great storytelling, plus it introduces new characters, even brings back ones we haven't seen in a while. Like, let's all be honest, who had the hots for Black Cat when you first saw her in this cartoon? Raise your hand. I'm not gonna lie, I even thought she was sexy as hell. Oh, I should mention this. I should mention this about this version of Black Cat. This Black Cat does have superpowers, but technically she is a super soldier. What do I mean by that? Okay, the cat, aka John Hardesty, that's Felicia Hardy's father. When he was a little boy during the events of World War II, he was technically hired by what he thought was the government, but turns out it was Nazis, aka Red Skull. But anyway, John Hardesty went to the experiment lab where they made Captain America. That's right, Captain America also makes an appearance in here. Mostly in flashbacks, but he does appear in season 5, but I will get to that storyline when I watch it. But John Hardesty was not only an amazing escape artist and acrobat, he was also given a unique gift, a forward graphic memory. So you know how Taskmaster can copy people's fighting styles just by watching it? Similar thing, but he memorized the super soldier formula. So what does he do with that knowledge? he locks himself off. So basically, he does start a family, but he decides to keep not only his family safe, but keep the world safe by locking himself up in prison. Not just a normal prison, S.H.I.E.L.D. We see Nick Fury make a return appearance, actually. But, yeah. Season 4, 9.5. Let me know what you guys think about it. And also, people who might disagree with me, these are my personal opinion. Please bear with it. Don't be assholes about it. But anyway, so yes, Season 5. The last season for Spider-Man 1994, because this series ended in 1998. So I don't understand, why couldn't they call the comic Spider-Man 1998? But it is what it is. But yes, Season 5 has 13 episodes just like the first season. So after I'm done with Spider-Man, I will do a review on Unlimited. And then after I'm done with Unlimited, I have the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie right here. Then we will go to Spider-Man the new anime series. Now, you're going to ask me, why not head straight to Spider-Man 2? I'm somewhat doing this in a year order, somewhat. Like, bear with me here. Because this show lasted for 5 seasons, because it started in 1994, all the way to 1998, which that means, that should mean it ended at 4 seasons instead of 5. But nope. This series came out the year after Spider-Man the anime series ended. This is 1999. As you see, it says the year right there. Now, and this, we didn't get anything Spider-Man related until early 2000s besides the video games. But as for TV shows or movie, nothing. This was Spider-Man's debut in the big screen. And then this came out, ignore the animation, it says the year 2002. This came out the year after Spider-Man 1. Because we didn't get Spider-Man 2 until 2004. And yes, this is the extended version of Spider-Man 2. So I'll be doing a breakdown review on this one. And then, after I'm done with Spider-Man 2, I will do the editor's cut of Spider-Man 3. And then, after that, we will do Spectacular Spider-Man. Although, that might have to be on hold for a little bit because I still need to buy the rest of Season 1. And then get all of Season 2. And then, I'll be doing it with the Amazing Spider-Man franchise, MCU Spider-Man movies, and the Spider-Verse movies, including the short film, and then your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 1. Now, before anyone asks, in this private playlist of mine, will these be in the year they came out? Well, especially that Spectacular comes after Spider-Man 3, that makes sense, and then it comes before TASM. So, yes. So, in the private playlist, I'll probably have it. I did thought about just playing the MCU Spider-Man trilogies just like on top of each other, so like Homecoming, Far From Home, and then No Way Home. And then for the Spider-Verse movies, I was going to do Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Within, and then Across the Spider-Verse. I just thought it makes sense for the earlier ones because we took us a while to get the other Spider-Man movies for a good while, especially the whole COVID shit, and then there was the whole delays with stuff like that. But bear with me. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this.